Did you ever ask yourself why Lady Tanith was so devoted to Lord Rykard? She really did love him with the whole of her being, and she dreamed of binding herself to his flesh through the union of marriage. But the depth of her devotion should also strike us as strange, because Rykard is not exactly a beautiful or lovable man. You could even say that he's profoundly ugly, both in body and soul, given that he fused himself into a god-devouring serpent in a maniacal quest to achieve the power to kill a god. But what if I told you that Lady Tanith loved her Lord Rykard precisely because he was ugly? At the very least, that's what we learn from the Consort Set, which is the clothing that she drops if you kill her at the end of her questline. The item description for this set tells us that Lady Tanith became Lord Rykard's consort long ago when he still possessed a human form. And then years later, when Rykard became the serpent of blasphemy, Lady Tanith was the only person to stay by his side. And then the item description adds something very curious about Lady Tanith's feelings for Rykard. It tells us that Lady Tanith was charmed by Lord Rykard in the very moment of his transformation. So in other words, it wasn't Rykard's older human form, but the blasphemous form of the man-serpent that truly cast a spell on Lady Tanith's heart and won her eternal devotion to his cause. But this curious insight into the workings of Lady Tanith's heart seems to raise more questions than it answers. What was it really about Lord Rykard's blasphemous transformation that made Lady Tanith love him all the more? I think we can discover the answer to this mystery from certain ideas that Lady Tanith shares with us through dialogue about the nature of courage, valor, and heroism. See, ordinary people like you and me tend to think of courage as the quality of a hero that makes them ready to risk their lives in order to defend the things they care about. Courage, in other words, is a hero's willingness to die. But Lady Tanith has a different interpretation, because Lord Rykard has shown her that there yet exists an even higher path of valor. As Lady Tanith sees it, the truest courage of all is not merely to die by your enemy's hand. Oh no, on the contrary, it's to sell your very soul and walk the tainted path of the villain and commit blasphemy and sin in order to defeat those very same enemies. The true hero does not preserve the purity of their heart, but instead they make a deal with the devil and damn themselves to hell. For that is what Lord Rykard did when he fused his very being into the god-devouring serpent. He gave his very soul away to a sickening monster. Nay, he became the monster and destined himself to a life that is void of all the joys of our humanity, of friendship, community, loyalty, and love. Rykard could not even enjoy the glory of a hero should he succeed in his cause, because there are none who would honor a being such as him. And so Rykard has embraced a fate that is even worse than death. But this was also the very reason why Lady Tanith loved her Lord Rykard all the more when he became the serpent of blasphemy. She understood that the tainted path of her lord required a courage that was even greater than the courage that makes us ready to die. It requires a courage that makes us ready to live in hell, if that is what it takes to kill a god.